Hey, it's Mike Skrypnek, CEO and founder of Grow Get Give Coaching. And it was sabotage. So, what have you done to limit yourself or even destroy your chances at success? A lot of people, in some way or another, undermine themselves. I mean, while it's even impossible to detect in real time, it's easy to see in others, of course, and almost as easy to see for ourselves in hindsight, right? There are ways we sabotage ourselves both consciously and subconsciously. I mean, I remember when I was planning my departure from the investment industry, I would meet prospects and I'd go through the motions and our normal introductory process. And there were many people who were a perfect fit. In fact, they were a great fit, and families I knew I could help. But for quite some time, it seemed that they wouldn't move forward. They wouldn't even join on. They wouldn't sign on as a new client. And early on, I thought it was them. I thought, they weren't truthful. They were there for free advice. They just found reasons to, like, they were scared, whatever it was. But as I dug deeper, I realized I was simply sending cues to make it really hard to work together, or even sending the message that I would rather be coaching and speaking than managing their wealth. Even if I didn't even say anything about that, I sent those messages. In any event, I was just not adding new clients, and it was because of me. Now, obviously, I felt it was slightly disingenuous for me to bring on brand new clients and then leave the industry. So that was a little bit intentional, but most of it was subconscious. And look at ways that you might undermine yourself. So how do you sabotage ourselves? Well, consciously, of course, we do it through negative self-talk, procrastination, avoidance, maybe even perfectionism. And subconsciously, though, the place where we're doing it and we don't even realize it, where I was doing it and I didn't realize it, was maybe in messaging, our tone, the decision making, maybe making some bad decisions or some different decisions than that would be normal, confrontation, getting agitated, negative messaging as well, lateness, broken or even incomplete work. Those are things that just happen. We do them. We didn't necessarily plan them, but somewhere in our subconscious, we're doing it. So why, though? Why do we engage in self-sabotaging behaviors? Well, I would say fear is omnipresent, right? It's the number one reason. So let's focus on it. We either have a fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being revealed, that imposter syndrome, maybe fear of being relied upon, not really wanting the business because if you got it, you're going to be relied upon, fear of being let down by others, or even the fear of being accepted. For some people, fear and pain avoidance, in fact, for all of us, it's a huge motivator. And how do you know if you're doing it? How do you know if you're self-sabotaging? Well, you're either going to take actions that give you a sense of control over your life, like planning or over planning and sticking, to one thing and not really being flexible for anything else, right? Getting in your box and getting in your head. But you might also be doing some of the opposite things by avoiding commitment, by being inconsistent, or just waiting for that inspiration to happen for you, perfection before progress. And so if you knew you're doing it, so what? Well, that's part of the opportunity to fix it, right? What can I do? Well, if fear of the motivation is the motivation, we can deal with it, and we must deal with it. And what we acknowledge, we can fix. So what's your fear, right? Is it intrinsic or is it an extrinsic thing? If it's intrinsic, in other words, is it something you lack or perceive that you lack? Can you fix it? So fixing things like tangible skills, experience, or qualifications, those are things that can be identified and rectified, and then build up your CV. So you can remove your fears of inadequacy or incompetence and even your worth by being or building up your CV or your resume, right? And then so it's undeniable that you have the skills to take on the project. But if your reasons for sabotage are more deeply rooted, you just might need some professional help. Sometimes your fears of success or acceptance can be deeply psychological, to the point that someone who is skilled at helping others work through these challenges is required. Childhood issues, repeated conditioning throughout your life, or even situational brainwashing, bad work environments, bad life environments, relationship environments, they're all things that a professional is better suited for than you are to help you through it. A good measure, of course, for when you might need outside help, either psychological or maybe it's just a simple trusted and objective advisor, would be that when you've taken care of all the tangible things you can take care of, and you still seem to continue to repeat the same patterns and you just can't break out of them, you might also find that stress or anxiety wells up, or even hostility and anger as you project your deficits onto others as if they were acting against you, right? Scheming on a thing, that's a mirage. I'm trying to tell you now, it's sabotage. That's the Beastie Boys. And that's what I brought us into this conversation on. So the next time you find yourself coming up short of expectations, ask yourself if it is out of your control or is it self-sabotage. I'm giving you a peer group every single Wednesday to mingle with at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern. I'll have breakfast with you. I'm showing up every Wednesday for my friends in the Eastern time zone. It might be more like a coffee break. We'll do a live Zoom meeting and we can talk about how your week is going, get over the hump day. Maybe there are world events to discuss, maybe business challenges or opportunities. It's just a social time for entrepreneurs and business owners to get together. You never know who you'll meet, but I'll be there to share with you as well. There's no agenda, no obligations, just an open weekly discussion for entrepreneurs navigating these times. So if you're a business owner and would enjoy the company of others for breakfast, please join me. You'll need to sign up to get the Zoom call details in advance, but I'll also post them in the morning of the call on Facebook and LinkedIn. So please go to my contact form on my website, growgetgive.com, and just enter Breakfast with Mike in the subject box, and you can get a hold of me. Or just email me, info@mikeskrypnek.com. Anyways, have an amazing day. Hope your Monday's going great. I'll catch you later, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.